Welcome to Financial Focus, brought to you by Gulf Coast Financial Services founder and CEO, John Kuykendall. John and his team of financial, legal, and tax professionals have provided North Florida savers and investors sound, comprehensive financial guidance for over 25 years, helping you to achieve important life and planning goals. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more Financial Focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net.
And welcome to Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, as named by the Lake City Reporter, 6 years and running, the team from Gulf Coast Financial Services, and founder, CEO. Here with us is our resource, as always, John Kuykendall, providing the common sense advice, guidance, and insight. John, welcome back in.
Thank you, Peter. It's great to be here today. I hope everything's going well for you this week, and we're finally starting to get a little warm weather.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are getting it as well. And, we're doing the remote thing here. So weather slightly different from where you are than I am, but not all that different. We're into the throw of things here. Spring cleaning has been done around the house, dusted off the cobwebs, got the power washer out. So the grass is in full effect. We're mowing every weekend. And Now we've got to make sure that we are on our financial path, doing a little financial spring cleaning as well. You've got this great resource. It is a one-pager that people can get their hands on that outlines 12 questions that we all need answers to know if we're ready to retire.
Peter, it's a great segue into getting ready for retirement. So many people think that retirement, all I got to do is just quit. I go home. The next morning, everything's going to be fine and checks are going to be coming in the mail and I'm going to live a happy life. But we know that that's not right. And we know that taxes and healthcare and everything are so complicated these days that you have to make the right decisions. And so that's what we try to do. And, the thing that first one on our list today is that income plan. And if you're getting ready to retire, do you have an income plan? Because the income plan supports your lifestyle and it also supports your investment plan, because the investment plan, which is the asset allocation plan, as I like to think of it, and the income plan are mingled together so tightly that it will make or break your retirement, and you won't be able to live the lifestyle that you wanted. And that's the thing about it is we want people to be able to have that predictable, sustainable income coming in every month, having that income plan so that they can enjoy the first years of their retirement while they're still able to go and do things. I know you were talking earlier about going on a cruise. People want to do that. They like to go to Alaska and see the whales. We want our clients to be able to do that, but we want to do it in a way that is the most economical way for their plan. And that's why we need that income plan that we talk about all the time. And I know we harp on that, Peter. That income plan comes up every time we talk.
Yeah, well, I think it's important because this is how we leverage our money to generate income through a specific planning process. And actually, John, if you don't mind, could we maybe back up and could you take the time for us and the listeners to the program, the viewers, to define what you mean specifically by an income plan? Maybe we can get a feel for if we think we have one or not.
Okay, well, when we retire, Peter, we've accumulated a certain amount of assets. And so that's what we're doing. While we're working, we're accumulating. And then when we retire, we're going to be distributing that wealth along with our Social Security checks and our pensions and our annuity income that we have coming in. So what we like to do is find out what the client's actual needs are. How much are they going to need in order to live a comfortable life each month? And that varies. Some people tell me 10,000 a month. Some people tell me 5. I mean, it's gotten as down as one individual told me he could get by on 2,000 a month. And so we've got a great plan for him. But, so what we do is we take that, we subtract how much income they have guaranteed, their Social Security, pensions, whatever is going to come in every month, dividends and interest. And then we're going to fill that income gap with something that's going to be sustainable. And that's going to give them the comfort to feel that they're comfortable, that they can go out and live the lifestyle they want. And we're going to be able to weather ups and downs in the market, because that's what will kill a plan quicker than anything, is trying to rely just strictly on the stock market. As you know from the last couple of weeks, that's hard to do if you're pulling money out, to be comfortable knowing that, hey, I'm pulling my money out in a down market.
Yeah, right. And the first several items on this report, this resource that you have available, the Are You Ready to Retire list of questions we need to answer, really have to deal with that income plan. Do you know how long you will be able to generate income if your paycheck stopped today? Have you identified and calculated your retirement income gap? Do you know how much you have available above and beyond that for discretionary assets? This is really kind of a mathematical problem-solving process.
Yeah, it is, Peter. And, while we're working, we do have an income plan, because I have a budget, hopefully, and I've got my income coming in from my work. They're giving me my checks. I'm paying out all my bills, and then I'm saving some. So while we're working, we do have an income plan. But why so many people, when they retire, they think they don't need it, I don't understand. Because how can you live without knowing, it's like we said before, how can you go on a trip without a roadmap?
Yeah. Well, we speak about diversity with our assets, John, and this segues into the next question here. Do you know if your portfolio is properly diversified? But I like the way that you put it here, to provide enough growth, safety, liquidity, and income. I have never in my life said, I need more large cap money. I need more small cap money. I need more domestic versus my international. No, I need growth on some money. I need income from some money. I need safety with some money and liquidity. Those are the real reasons we need to diversify. And as part of this process to know if we're ready to retire, we've got to identify which dollars are performing what tasks for us.
That's right, Peter. I mean, we can't have all the money trying to perform one thing and be in one asset group. So if I'm in the stock market and I'm trying to live off of that, then the market goes up and down. I can't get a predictable income every month. I can't get the kind of growth that I want. So what we want to do is we want to set up an income plan that's going to set aside our assets that are allocated for asset allocation, and that's going to be our growth bucket. And from that, we're going to take inflation. We're going to take our trips. We're going to take the roof that needs repairing, the refrigerator that's got to be replaced. Those items come out of our growth bucket because I want that money to grow. I don't want to have to take money out of it every month in an up or down market.
And we don't want those major expenses to detract and to reduce our income producing ability. We want to be able to cover those big ticket items. Obviously, some of them are necessities, but we don't want to have that jeopardize our income producing ability into the future. And that's why we've got to differentiate. And again, the process of having that specific written income plan, part of the financial focus plan, that's what helps you differentiate between the two. If you'd like to get that plan put together, if you don't know if you have a retirement income plan, it's probably an indicator that you need to have this review. Pick up the phone, give John Kuykendall and the team there at Gulf Coast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. Another big one here on the list, do you hold annual reviews of your plan to assess if you have met previous goals and to set new goals and benchmarks? John, a lot of people probably can't remember the last time they heard from their advisor or sat down to have an annual review.
Oh, I know, Peter. That's the problem is when we do a income plan for a client, we tell them right then that, hey, look, this is a living, breathing document. It's not something that we're just going to put in the closet and forget about. Anytime you want to do anything that's going to change the plan, we want to know about it. And then once a year, we want to look at it as we go do a tax review and find out how we worked out, how our plan worked out. Did I spend more than I thought? Or did I spend less? And if I spent less, why? And then try to work through that. We want all of our clients to be comfortable. But the thing, Peter, is like I said, all of this is integrated so much. Is we were talking to a client this morning, and she wanted to put some flooring in the house. Well, that $15,000 that she's going to pull out of her IRA, her deferred bucket, is going to cost her is actually 22 cents on the dollar. because she went from the 12% tax bracket to the 22% tax bracket on almost the majority of that money. And any money she takes out in the future is in the 22% tax bracket. But how many people know that? I mean, how many people even know what tax bracket they're in?
Yeah, not many. And a lot of people think that the final bracket they land in is what they pay effectively on all of their income. That's not the case. And we've talked specifically about that in several episodes on taxes and how taxes work and what we need to understand about making the most and keeping the most of our money. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to listen to past editions of the program, go to the blog page on the Gulf Coast Financial Services website, gulfcoastfinancial.net, and specifically gulfcoastfinancial.net/blog contains all of the episodes of Financial Focus. You can just review those. You can find a specific topic that you are looking for answers on. Great resource there. And then all of the additional resources that we talk about in the program can be found there as well. So gulfcoastfinancial.net and then gulfcoastfinancial.net/blog if you're looking for the podcast or the resources. John, have you formulated the plan for how to use Social Security to maximize your income and protect your personal assets? Obviously, another big part of retirement there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Social Security is going to be a major source of income for a majority of people. 40% of all retirees live only on Social Security. So Social Security is a lifetime pension that the government gives us that we pay for over a number of years. But, the thing is we need to maximize that. And we work that into the income plan, Peter. We had a client in the other day, and we decided that we're going to defer her Social Security until 68 and a half instead of taking it at 65, because that really gives her the best number. And her husband will then be drawing, and he'll be drawing half of hers because he's younger. So that we worked out a plan for her based on maximizing her Social Security. And I want to tell you something, Peter, Social Security isn't that easy. I mean, you get bogged down. If you call, you can't meet with them for one thing. You have to do all this by the telephone, and it's complicated. There are many ways to file and many ways not to file. And what you don't want to do is just call up and say, hey, I'm retired. I want my Social Security. Send me my check, because they're going to do that. But you may be leaving thousands of dollars on the table by not figuring out what your maximum time to withdraw is.
And over the course of the lifetimes of a married couple, sometimes, John, that number can be 50, 100, 150, several hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's a big difference. That's money I'd like to get from Social Security rather than have to pull from my personal retirement nest egg savings.
Sure. And, Peter, the thing about it is a lot of people forget that if one spouse passes away, we lose one Social Security check. Now, I get to step up to the higher check, but one Social Security check's going away. So, you're going to be with 30, 40% less income the day after your spouse dies than you had before. And so sometimes we want to make sure that we maximize Social Security to get the most for the surviving spouse.
Another big one, do you know the cash flow rate your portfolio will need to generate in order to meet your retirement income goals? A lot of debate about this retirement cash flow or withdrawal rate, especially over recent decade and a half.
Yeah. Well, the old story was if I drew 4%, I would take 4% out of my portfolio. I would never crash it. And I think that was probably true in 1978 when they came up with that idea.
Yeah. But CD rates were paying 12%, so that should have been no problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Up until even 1991, we had 6.9% CD rate. So I draw 4, I get 6, almost 7. I'm not going to crash it. But when we live in a volatile market like we have today, where the market goes up and down and it's not consistent, and so I may be drawing money out this month in a down market, next month in an up market, but the following month it could be another down market. It's much better to know what cash flow you have to pull out. So there has been talks that I can't pull out more than 1 7/8 up to as much as 5%. But, we want to make sure we have a comfortable number. If a client comes in and tells me that, hey, this is the number and I need to pull 10% out of my account, I know that we're not going to do that, because they're not going to be they're not going to be retired long.
Yeah.
They're like my friend who I told he could retire, but he needed to go back to work in 6 months.
Yeah. Just not even speaking the same language, not a realistic expectation to be able to pull that much income from a portfolio nest egg. You have to have realistic expectations. You have to have done some work. Most importantly, John, you have got to put the pen to paper, crunch the numbers, do the math, and get that retirement income plan. And by the way, these 12 questions, again, to get you thinking, answer these questions to know if you are prepared to retire. It's available, ladies and gentlemen. You can give a call and request this list to go over on your own or with your spouse, your loved ones, your family. If a coworker's thinking about retiring, maybe a good resource for them. Pick up the phone, give a call, request that, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, or you can go online to the blog, gulfcoastfinancial.net/blog. We'll put the link there where you can grab that. Or again, the easiest way probably just to call 386-755-9018. Another big question, John, how much of my work and career income do I need to replace? A lot of misconceptions around that one. I only need 70%. Maybe that's true for some people, but not universally true for everyone, right?
No, I haven't found a person yet that's been consistent on how much we need. So there's no formula. Everybody's different. Everybody has different needs. Some people can get by on 40%. Some people need 80% or more. And some people have to decide that, hey, I'm going to scale back. And this is what I can realistically live on. But it has to come up with a number that they're comfortable with, that the plan will sustain. I mean, you didn't get here overnight. It took you 20, 25, 30 years to get to retirement. So all that time, you really weren't working on a plan to retire. You were working on a plan to live. Now we're working on the plan to retire. And so many people just don't have that plan. Don't make that mistake, folks. Get that income plan, because it will give you the comfort, the retirement that you need, and it will give you what you need to live on. And nobody knows what they really need to live on. It's just not there, Peter. They don't have an idea of what they need because they're so used to getting a check and just living. And a lot of people have to cut back.
Yeah. Well, another thing that can take a big bite out of that retirement nest egg and maybe cause us to go through it a little quicker than we anticipated, taxes. Especially, John, if taxes may change into the future. A lot of concern about that out there right now. Now, we've covered that in a couple recent episodes. So again, if you want to go in depth on that topic, how to plan for it, how to control that tax liability, I encourage you, and I'm going to point you to the Gulf Coast Financial Services blog site where you can get resources on it, and John speaks specifically to that topic. But John, that's again part of the written retirement income plan, and the income allocation is maximizing areas where we have control over and minimizing the areas where we don't. Taxes is one of those areas that's the in-between that you can gain more control over if you take proper steps.
Well, we don't have any control over what they're going to be, and we don't have any control of when they're going to be enacted. But we do have control how we utilize them and if we try to do it the best we can. And so what we'll do is, if the taxes change, then we'll sit down with our clients and go back through the income plan and decide how it's going to affect their plan and what we want to do. The other thing we want to take into consideration those taxes while we're working on that income plan, and also healthcare, Peter. Healthcare is going to be a big cost, so we want to make sure that they get the Medicare plan and the drug card that they need that's best for them. And also, when you retire, your needs aren't going to stay stagnant. Inflation is going to creep up. So we want to give you an inflation factor so that we can work a little more income in the future.
And you caught me. I'm sorry, John. I skipped over a couple questions on the list here that dealt with the healthcare and the inflation. Those also addressed on our list of the 12 questions that, ladies and gentlemen, you need to answer to know if you're ready to retire. Are you prepared? Not I'm so ready to leave work, but are you actually financially prepared to face the subsequent period of time, the 20 to 30 years of unemployment that we fondly refer to as retirement? And to do that, John, the bottom line, question number 12, do you have a retirement income allocation plan in writing? And if people aren't certain about that, then they probably don't. And they probably owe it to themselves to get one.
Yeah, and Peter, when we're talking about an income plan, we're not talking about a big, thick book. that's 200 pages long that we're going to put on the shelf, and it says my income plan and be all glossy. What we're talking about is a PDF, a computer document that's going to be 4 or 5 pages, but it's going to outline all the things we need to do, talk about the things that they need to address, and then it's going to also show us for a 30, 35-year retirement how my money's going to react in the market and how am I going to pull my income out. It's very, very visual, and that's what we want it to be.
Well, I think what we want is the down-to-earth language that we can understand, and that's what that financial focus plan is, ladies and gentlemen, a snapshot of where you are, discussion of and documentation of your goals. Write those down so you can know that you're working to achieve them, and then John and his team will provide recommendations, step-by-step instructions, executable action items that you can take in order to turn those dreams, those goals into reality. And it's not 1,000 pages of high-level financial jargon. It's simple, easy to understand language, what most of us, I think, are looking for as far as direction in our financial life. And then we can take those steps, or we can choose to help with John and his team's help. We can get the assistance there, John, with your team in implementing those plans. And that's a subsequent follow-up discussion, right?
Oh yeah, Peter. And we have talked to Social Security many times. We've talked to Medicare many times with our clients and with the people that we're working on these plans with. So we understand what they want, what they need, and we can help you get through the process. Like I said, now that we're doing this online and you can't sit down, it's not an easy process. What Medicare plan do I need? What drug card? What drugs am I using? Which is a tier 1. All Medicare drug plans are different. Which is the best one for me? We sit down and we walk through that with every person that we deal with and make sure that we get them the best health care that we can possibly get them for the lowest price.
Well, again, all of these issues are important to your ultimate retirement success. They're outlined on this report, this resource that you can get your hands on, the 12 questions to answer to know if you're ready to retire. Are you prepared? John Kuykendall, the team at Gulf Coast Financial Services, making that available to you. All you need to do is pick up the phone, give a call, and request it, and you can get your financial focus plan specific answers to these questions by calling that number as well. 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. John, the questions are good. The answers are better.
Yeah, they're good questions, but you know what? Everyone needs to know the answers to them. And that's what we really want to preach is that you need to sit down and work on this. This isn't something that you can procrastinate on. You need to do it before you retire.
Pick up the phone, give a call, request that financial focus plan or the list of the 12 questions. You can go over that on your own or sit with John and the team to get your financial focus plan, your written retirement income plan together. 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, or visit gulfcoastfinancial.net. John, always a pleasure. We appreciate the time.
Thank you, Peter. It was great being here. Have a good week.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting gulfcoastfinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.